Adrian Scott. Adrian Scott.
Well, greetings and shalom. This is Adrian Scott, and I welcome you to Truth and Testimony of the broadcast. This is just going to be a general update on a few things that are going on. As of the date of the posting of this video, and noting that I am recording this ahead of time, but as of the date of the posting of this, we are literally going to be in a vehicle, our entire family, making our way down to California. This is a planned trip that we have had with, wow, my mind just went blank there, with my wife's mother. Yeah, so we're going down to see her, and this is to be a trip to Disneyland. So we're definitely taking Autumn and Abigail, and this will be a treat for them. You know, this is the kind of thing, it may or may not happen again in the future, so you know, take the opportunity now to do that. They're at an age where they can appreciate it, and they'll have some memories from that. Speaking of memories, this is a trip that I mean, it's not normally necessarily the format of this channel. We try to do a little more on the way of teaching and stuff like that. But I am going to take the opportunity to bring some cameras. I do want to record a lot of this, and there will be some updates and maybe a special video mixed in there of just kind of the family trip and, you know, how we do things from a, you know, kind of a bit of more of a biblical believer standpoint, as it were. You know, because there's things that we are and aren't willing to do based on our beliefs. And so, you know, maybe we'll document a little bit of that, because it does, when you follow God's word, when you follow the scriptures, one of the things that scripture says is that we are in the world, we are not of the world, or something, I'm paraphrasing, but something close to that. And so we got to live here. We have to coexist with other people. But to that effect, I may make the case that, you know, you need to be able to demonstrate, I want to call it leeway, a little grace, a little forgiveness, because not everyone is following that. The world does a fantastic job of taking people away from God and from His Word. So you need to have a little bit of leeway with that. But at the same time, that leeway only goes so far. The compromises, you know, you have to draw a line at some point, and that you got to stick to it. You know, that we are in this world, but we are not of this world. So anyways, big trip coming up. As of anyone watching this or after the fact, that we'll be actually be traveling on the road. So when this goes live, we may be somewhere in around Oregon. We'll have to see how well things go, but that's the basic idea. So that's the big thing. I am pre-recording a few videos, which I'm going to have scheduled. So there is going to be content going up while we're away. But while we're away, I also had every intention on doing one or two small little live updates, or just, hey, here's where we are, here's what we're doing, and put those up on the channel as well. It's a big trip. This is not the kind of thing that you do very often. The last time I was down in that neck of the woods, I'm thinking specifically Disneyland, although we almost went more for Universal Studios, but that was back in 1995. So yeah, going back a little ways there. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. A few days away, getting stuff ready to go ahead of time, and that's why I'm doing this. But I did want to check in, and there's more stuff coming. I want to wrap up I think I'm going to, you may even have a little delay where I'm not getting stuff up very often, because I want to really focus on wrapping up my Feasts of the Lord series. In particular, you know, we've passed the last of the biblical Feasts of the Lord in Sukkot, but there are still other things happening. The biggest one is Hanukkah, and we do follow Hanukkah and no longer follow Christmas. So we wanted to do, from our side of stuff, as a family, really, a video where we kind of talk a little bit about Hanukkah and where does it come from, have we opted to go that route instead of Christmas? What's wrong with Christmas? There's again, that's another one that there is a lot of material out there. There's actually a lot of debate over some of it. I know one of the big ones is that, I guess some people would just say that Christmas is Saturnalia, and they'll point out, no, it's not. And then they can point out elements that are not connected to the pagan feast of Saturnalia, and they're correct. But it doesn't change the fact that Saturnalia is a part of it, but there are other elements. It's a big mishmash of stuff that's all kind of been blended together, none of which is what God has instructed us to do. As a matter of fact, according to Deuteronomy chapter 12, it's very implicitly stuff that he's told us not to do. So want to do a video where we kind of focus in on that a little bit, take a little bit more of a deep dive. I want to bring some resources and books and stuff to that one. So that's stuff I really want to focus on. So the shekels for your thoughts, Bible breaks, they may be a little lean. There may not be as many, because I want to spend the time to research those videos and get those made and uploaded to the channel. So that's a big thing there. I don't want to speak too much about this because I think it's better to hear it from the horse's mouth, but there have been some major developments in a good way in the camp of Ray and Susan. And I think the result of that is that you will see more stuff coming from them here on Truth and Testimony, the broadcast, which is phenomenal. As much as I'm getting my stuff up, it's nice not to have to stare at my mug the entire time. If you can get a little variety out of it, why not mix it up a little bit? Although I am going to get my wife in a few of these. So yeah, big changes happening there. I'm going to leave the details for them. If they want to do some sort of an update video or just talk about a few of the things going on, they can handle that. But I see it as a positive, and the end result of which is you'll see much more of them on the channel again, just for both of us all the way around. Again, I mean, I don't want to beat a drum over and over and over again here, but there's just been so much going on. It has been a real challenge. This is the biggest challenge that Ray or I have, I think I could safely say, faced in our lives. I don't think that's an overstatement to say that. So that's kind of the general gist there. So I will have some stuff coming up. There is a trip coming, but there's still going to be some stuff coming up on the channel, so you want to check in for that. As always, subscribe to the channel if you've not done so, and hit the notification bell so that you are notified. And really, it does go without saying that if you can give the videos a like and share it with others, comment is another big one. All of those things, YouTube has a very finicky algorithm system. And there are people, it's an entire industry on how to make channels and make videos successful with dealing with YouTube's algorithms. Very finicky, a lot of interesting stuff. And I've only dabbled a little bit in looking into it, so I really don't know much. I should probably spend a little more effort looking into it, because we do want to grow this channel. But I think in a lot of ways we are fighting this algorithm. Having said all of that, it absolutely does help the channel. It does help the content when the content is getting those likes, shares, and comments, as well as the subscription base. Because the more of that can happen, the more that the algorithms will recommend the videos to other people that aren't subscribed to the channel and give them a chance to say, hey, who are these guys? They're weird enough. Maybe we should check out some of the other stuff they're doing. So I encourage everyone to do those things if you have not done so yet. Having said that, I think I'll wrap it up there. Wish us luck on the trip. Prayers are always in order. Safe travels. We don't have any breakdowns, and that it goes smoothly. We have some fun. We can get some good memories out of this. there is a special element to this, and it has to do with my wife's mother, my mother-in-law. Just the fact that she is definitely on the older side, and there's some health stuff going on. So this is one big reason why we wanted to do this, because we don't want to be in, I hate, it's difficult to say it without coming across a little morbid, to lose the opportunities to interact with a family member like this, or anyone that's close to you, and then they're gone and you no longer have the opportunity. And that can be a source of a lot of pain, a lot of regret, and we don't want to be in that boat. So, we're doing this in this case. I've also been, making it a point to try to be there more for my mother and my dad. They're both getting up there in age as well, and to just, if anything, God forbid, were to happen to them before their time, because you don't know, we don't even know if there's going to be a tomorrow. Anybody, none of us knows, right? So why put off to tomorrow what you can do today? And I guess I would say that to people is take that opportunity, stay close to your family, because you never know when they'll be gone. And, just keep those lines of communication opening, because it could be that you find yourself in a position, much like we think for ourselves here, my wife and I, that, something happens and then we're like, I never had a chance to tell them, fill in the blank. Or you might have had an argument and the last thing I said was something nasty, and now I have to live with that. Don't be in that situation, right? If you can help to avoid it, why not? It'll only be a benefit to you and to those people involved in your lives. Having said all of that, I do wish blessings to all of you in the name of Yeshua, our Messiah. And I will say, have a great week. Shalom, and bye for now.